Hello Indie Game fans, if you're not familiar, the Mega Man Battle Network series of real-time tactical RPGs had some of the most popular and fan-favourite games beginning in 2001 and having its last entry in 2009, so it has been quite some time since the last entry, but as always, indie developers are here to pick up the slack, so here are 7 upcoming indie games to look forward to. Let's begin with Tri-Wing, which, out of the games on this list, I'm most unsure about, since, to date, it still does have a 2018 release date on Steam, and the developer's Twitter account doesn't seem to be mentioning this game. It is, however, supposed to be an online PvP title that has you facing off against real human players. I do like the look of this game, so hopefully we will get to play someday. A game which I've highlighted on the channel before is Isotope Ash, one that has a cyber dystopia setting, where unfortunately, its Kickstarter campaign in December last year was not successful, but the good news is that the developer is chugging along and the game is still in development. The pixel art in the introduction looks fantastic, with the combat and overworld looking great as well, with the examples of enemies shown off in this trailer looking pretty good. The developers are clearly fans of Mega Man Battle Network and promise updated deck building and combat mechanics, so here's wishing them all the best for development. Speaking of cyber dystopia, another game that looks to have quite a similar aesthetic is the very purple Endlanders, one that does look a lot more like Hyper Light Drifter and does lean upon in-game glitches as one of the main mechanics. It has you exploring various planes of interest in a manner that looks like an action-adventure game, but don't be fooled, the combat is the real-time grid-based goodness that we expect, where interestingly, the middle column seems to be shared where both you and the enemies can freely cross into. There are also 2 playable characters with different playstyles, so if it looks good to you, do check out the free demo on Steam and follow along for when their Kickstarter campaign launches. After more than 3 years in early access, I'm happy to share that Endcycle VS will release in 1.0 in about 10 days, where along with that release will be a whole bunch of new content. This includes a new campaign, a mysterious new character, as well as proper rollback netcode support for online multiplayer, where if you have not tried this, do look into it. Let's kick off the top 3 with Grid Force Mask of the Goddess, one of the best looking titles that does give off vibes of Pyre. You play as a fighter, gathering a team of the best warriors in order to kill a goddess, where the most interesting part of this game to me is that there are 30 plus characters to unlock and play as, where I'm waiting to see how much variety there would be. can swap between the different characters on the fly, and even level up and upgrade each individual character, looking to have quite a bit of RPG progression in this title. Combat looks fantastic as well, with boss fights that look like quite the challenge, making this a title to look forward to in Q2 this year. The announcement of Duelists of Eden did catch me by surprise as well, since I did find out after the fact, but apparently this will be a PvP focused release that is of course from the same developer as the roguelite One Step from Eden. If you have not played that, it is, in my opinion, the indie game to beat when talking about Mega Man Battle Network likes, so it's interesting that this developer is releasing a competitive PvP entry. Of course, it adds rollback netcode to support online play, and does even tutorialize some of the basics. As far as I know, all of the characters in this trailer are from the game, so I do wonder if any new ones would be added, but if this somehow manages to make competitive MMBN a thing, could be something to watch. Out of all the titles on this list, I do think that Hero.exe has the most potential, being one of the most vibrant and colourful titles with a great art style as well, so I'm waiting to see if they manage to nail the combat. Like its inspiration, this is set in a digital landscape where you choose an AVA or Artificial Virtual Assistant as your character as you explore the world.
Let's go!
Come on, let's do this! You're going down!
I won't lose! Take this!
I'll be on my way.
There are currently plans for 4 playable characters, all of which are unique, with the art on the ability cards being awesome as well.
Be gone!
There are visual novel elements and choices to make in the storytelling, making this quite the complete package. People do seem to agree, with his Kickstarter campaign raising about 2.5 times its goal, so hopefully that gives the team the momentum to make a great game, taking the #1 spot. For more upcoming indie games, watch these videos and I will see you after the jump.